Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Mississinewa High School for tonight's boys basketball action between the visiting Norwell Knights and the home team, the Mississinewa Indians. Good evening, folks. Again, welcome to Mississinewa High School. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott. Mississinewa comes in at 1-1, both the varsity and the junior varsity. Norwell's varsity comes in at 2-0. Not quite sure the record of the junior varsity. I'm assuming with the varsity being 2-0, the junior varsity also 2-0. So I'm just going to go off. This isn't for sure, but I'm going to go ahead and say that the junior varsity for Norwell also is 2-0. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott. Ryan, good to be back with boys basketball tonight. Hopefully the outcome tonight is a little bit different than Saturday night.
Yeah, we all hope so. You know, they started off slow, they ended being slow, and hopefully they can turn it around with being in foul trouble the last game a lot, and hopefully they can turn that around also.
Yeah, the foul trouble was proved to be havoc for the Indians. You had Anthony Horton in foul trouble. You got Connor Wilson in foul trouble. You had Tabit Galt in foul trouble. Just not what you want. You know, with Tabit Galt getting in foul trouble, him being your leading scorer last Wednesday at Manchester, that really hurts when your leading scorer goes out of the game in foul trouble. I think he had 2 first-quarter fouls, and he didn't even play almost the entire second quarter until about 2 minutes left, and that proved to hurt the Indians in that first half.
Yeah, and especially with them being the top best players and them getting in foul trouble, that hurt Coach Everett and the Indians tremendously.
Yeah, anytime you've got 3 of your better players going out in foul trouble, it is really, really, really going to hurt you. Let's talk about the JV team. The JV team, they played Huntington North on Saturday as well. They had a chance to tie the game at the buzzer on a Seth Maddox 3. They inbounded the ball with about 10 seconds left. A pass in the corner. Seth Maddox was not open, but he was forced to take a shot, had the defender right in his face. The shot looked good, just didn't fall for him. So, unfortunately, Seth didn't get that 3 to drop for him, and the Indians lost their first game of the season, and they fell to Huntington North in the JV game, 33-30 in that JV contest. Landon Swanner had a pretty decent game against Huntington North, passing the ball. Didn't score much. The leading scorer for the Indians in the JV game on Saturday was Tay McClung. Only had 6 points and led the team in scoring. So that right there just tells you how much the Indians struggled against that Huntington North team. McClung had 14 against Manchester and 6 against Huntington North. That leads the junior varsity in scoring. For the varsity scoring, we'll talk more about that come varsity pregame, and we'll also talk to Coach Andrew Everts and get his thoughts on tonight's game as well. But right now, junior varsity from both sides are warming up, and we will get things underway from Gas City here in just a few moments. You're watching Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School as we continue with our junior varsity pregame here tonight as the Mississinewa Indians get set to clash with the Norwell Knights. And the junior varsity contest is the first contest. Over in the auxiliary gym, we have the freshman contest. We'll have updates from that as much as we can. We'll update you on how the freshmen are doing during this junior varsity contest, because the freshmen and the JV play at the same time. The JV is in this gym, and the freshman team is in the auxiliary gym just across the way. Again, this is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Norwell comes in 2-0 in the junior varsity contest. Mississinewa comes in at 1-1, losing to Huntington North this past Saturday by a final score of 33-30 on a missed three to tie it at the buzzer of Seth Maddox. The Indians and Coach Cunningham, the JV Indians rather, and Coach Cunningham look to get back on the winning side of things tonight against Norwell. And Ryan, what are some of the things that you feel like that as an Indian you'd have to do to win the game?
You got to get more ball control and get in control of the ball, play better defense, play better offense, and you got to limit the fouls.
Yeah, you definitely got to limit the fouls. You definitely have to you got to score the ball. You can't something that I necessarily didn't like about the Indians, and sometimes it is a good idea, but I feel like Saturday slowing down wasn't the best idea for the Indians. I felt like the best thing for the Indians would have been to speed things up and play your style and not play Huntington North style, because, I think that's why the Indians lost, was because they played Huntington North style. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back and talk a little more about the junior varsity pregame. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Well, welcome back to Mississinewa High School. 6 minutes on the pregame clock, and we will have this junior varsity contest underway live from Gas City, Indiana at Mississinewa High School. Again, the freshmen are playing over in the auxiliary gym across the way, and the junior varsity is here in this gym, and then the varsity game is scheduled to tip off right around 7:30, depending on how the junior varsity game goes. Again, Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott, and we are ready and excited for Indian basketball. We'll take another timeout. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Well, welcome back to Mississinewa High School again. We are just a few minutes from getting this junior varsity contest underway live from Gas City. 1:52 and counting in the pregame clock. And then we'll have this junior varsity game underway live from Gas City as the Mississinewa Indians get set to clash with the 2-0 Norwell Knights. Again, the Indians are 1-1 and Norwell 2-0. That is the junior varsity records along with the varsity records. We'll talk more about the varsity in the varsity pregame. The Indians lost again to Huntington North, 33-30. We will come back with starting lineups in the tip after this 2-minute timeout. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School, and we're getting ready to get things underway live here from Gas City as the Mississinewa Indians are set to clash with the Norwell Knights. The starters for both teams: for the Norwell Knights at a guard position, a 5'10" freshman, number 12, Eli Riley. At another guard position, another guard position, a 6-foot junior, number 30, Ethan Todd. At a forward position, a 6'2" sophomore, number 32, Drew Fetterspill. Another forward, a 6'2" junior, number 42, Kyle Hinchin, and rounding out the lineup is 6'2" junior, number 11, Landon Geiger. A missed shot at this end by Evan Bellis, and we're underway. Norwell moves from right to left with the ball, swinging it over. This is Geiger. Geiger to Riley, over in the corner to Todd. Kicks it back out. This is Geiger. Inside is Hinchin. Goes right around Enzor, and he's got a foul on the floor. It's going to be on Peyton Enzor with a body. That's going to be Enzor's first foul and the team's first. Just underway, 6:33 in the first quarter remaining. In the corner is Hinchin. Kicks it back out. This is Geiger. In the corner, Riley swings it over to Geiger. Defended by Castanon. Bringing it back out. Here's Riley. Swings it over in the corner. Todd. Looking. Hinchin gets it inside, and a layup is no good by Fetterspiel. Cade Campbell running the point guard position, and the Indians move from left to right, and their home white uniforms in the red trim. Campbell to the left, in the corner to Swanner. Swanner kicks it back out. Campbell, top of the key, swings it over to this corner to Evan Bellis, who drives baseline, gets it inside to Enzor and fought for, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession is Norwell. 5:49 and counting left in the first quarter. Here's Riley, top of the key. Dribbles to his right. Over in the corner is Todd. Kicks it out. Hinchin a three. This one is an air ball and saved by Todd. Shot up by Riley, no good. Rebound, Drew Castanon, and he's running the floor. Castanon, top of the key, swings it over to Swanner. Swanner over to Campbell. Campbell inside to a cutting Castanon, and Castanon kicks it out to Enzor. Back to Campbell. Swanner comes off of a 4-point performance against Huntington North. Inside Enzor. Enzor goes up with a left hand and misses. Nice little left-hand hook shot from Enzor, just couldn't get it to fall. Riley, top of the key. This game definitely a lot faster moving than Saturday's. Hinchin over to Riley. Riley, cross-court pass. This is Fetterspiel, three no good. And a rebound fought for, and it's off of Peyton Enzor. 4:43 left in the first quarter. We're still knotted up at 0. Who's going to be the first team to score? In the corner, Eli Riley drives baseline, gets it inside to Hinchin, shot up, and this one is off the glass and in. 2-0 Norwell, and here's Campbell running the far sideline. Bellis baseline, kicks it back out to Campbell. Gets to the center of the zone. Now Castanon going to launch a three, and this one is nothing but net. That one by Castanon was a very nice-looking three. Indians 3, Norwell 2. Here's Hinchin. Over in the corner, Fetterspiel gets it to Geiger. Now Fetterspiel goes to his left. Now Riley thought about a three. Driving, kicks it out. Geiger going to launch a three. This one no good. Rebound, Evan Bellis. Campbell running the far sideline. Now brings it back to the center of the court. Kicks it out to Swanner, who thought about a three. And now he's going to kick it back out to Bellis at the top of the key. Bellis, Campbell to Castanon. Cutting is Bellis. Backs down his defender. Turns around, throws up a wild shot, and it's no good. 3-2. Riley stops. Wanted to pop it. Now swings it over. Almost a bad pass saved by Riley. 3-2, low scoring here in this first quarter with 3:17 and counting left. Inside, Hinchin defended by Enzor. He's got to be careful. He already has one foul. Geiger, swing pass, and I think they're going to have a traveling violation, and they are, and it's on Ethan Todd. See if the Indians can get a little bit more offensive momentum going. As here comes the press from Norwell. Gets it to the middle to Enzor. Now he floats it up to Bellis in the corner. Bellis to Enzor. Free throw line jumper up, and it's a brick and no good. Back the other way comes Eli Riley. Campbell all over him defensively. Bellis almost had it. Fumbled it, and it's out of bounds. And it's staying with Norwell. I thought it was going to stay with Norwell. It looked like Bellis went off of Bellis' hand, but now it's Indian basketball, and here's Swanner. Pass to Bellis, who drives in between his defenders, goes up with a right-hand layup and put it in. 5-2, Indians with the lead. 3 points from Castanon and 2 from Bellis make up the Indians' 5. Riley drives baseline, goes up with a right hand and almost put it in, but he's going to the line for 2. That foul was on Evan Bellis, his first and the team's second. And going to the line for 2 shots is Eli Riley. Free throw up by Riley, and this one rolls in, and they have 3 points. Missed free throw and a rebound to Norwell. Castanon fought for it, and I think it's off of Norwell. The officials have not signaled. I think it's Indian basketball. They're going to call a jump ball because neither of the officials could figure out exactly whose ball it was, and the possession is going to go to Mississinewa. So on the next jump ball, it's going to be possession Norwell. Swanner runs the point guard position. He's a 6-foot freshman, and he gets it over to Campbell. Campbell to Bellis. Castanon free throw line jumper, put it in, and Drew Castanon has 5 of the team's 7. Inside, Riley goes right around Campbell and almost traveled and threw up a wild shot. Swanner running. Indians have numbers and a turnover on Swanner. Norwell does the smart thing and slows things down. Over to Riley in the corner. Looked like he shuffled his feet. Now they're going to call a blocking foul on Evan Bellis. And Colin Yoder goes to the scores table to check in. I think that's Bellis' second. That is Bellis' second and the team's 3rd. Colin Yoder checks into the lineup for the Mississinewa Indians. Pass in the corner, a wide open 3 for Geiger, rolls around the rim and then drops in.
You know, the Indians are playing with better pace than last game. Last game was so slow, and they're playing with better pace this time.
Swanner, top of the key, swings it over to Castanon. Inside Campbell, and he kicks it back out, and Castanon saves it, and it's a turnover. 3 out of the down at the other side by Geiger, no good. An offensive rebound, and off the glass and no good by Fetterspill, and he was fouled on the floor, and it might have been Enzor's second. It's on number 40, Colin Yoder, his first. It's the team's 4th. The fouls are 4-0. Mississinewa has 4 to Norwell's 0. Let's see if this free throw is good. This one is up by Fetterspill, and he put it in, and the lead is trimmed to 1. One more free throw to come. Fetterspill's free throw is up and good, and now Norwell leads by 1 at 8-7. Swanner in the corner, eyes a 3. This one is long and an air ball bit off of Fetterspill and out of bounds. It's still Indian basketball. Swanner hasn't been able to find the offensive rhythm he's been looking for the past 2 games. Campbell inbounding, gets it to Yoder in the corner. He eyes a 3. This one is off the top of the goal and no good. 8-7, under a minute to play in the first quarter. Riley looked like he traveled, and he did. I was about to say, he just went and shuffled his feet, didn't even put the ball on the ground. The official standing right in front of him. Swanner to inbound, gets it to Campbell. The full court press coming from Norwell. Floats it up to Enzor. Cross court to Yoder. Inside free throw line jumper, floater up and in. And the Indians take back the lead by 1 at 9-8.
That was a very good look for him to get inside and get that 2-point basket.
A very high quality shot. 25 seconds and counting left in the first, and a turnover on Norwell. Good defensive pressure from Cade Campbell. Try to get you updated on Lady Indian basketball as they are at Southern Wells tonight. After coming off of a loss last night to Belmont, 77-52, Tyler Bartell led the Indians with 19 points. Swanner, Indians going to look for one shot here with the lead. We're down to 10 seconds. A lazy pass from Swanner, and he gets it back with 6. Down to 4, down to 3, 2, 1. Enzor goes up with a right hand and put it in at the buzzer. Smart play from Swanner. 11-8 at the end of the first quarter. The JV Indians lead by 3. Back with the second quarter. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. The Indians lead 11-8. Out of the stoppage of the quarters, like I said, Indians lead 11-8. Second quarter getting ready to get underway. It's going to be Norwell basketball. Again, they move from right to left. Riley. Hinchin. Over to Fetterspill. He drives baseline, goes up with a right hand, and good defense from Castanon. And a lazy pass from Enzor turns it over. Riley drives baseline and puts that one up with a right hand. And it's 11-10. Swanner over to Castanon. Castanon to Swanner. Now Campbell. Enzor. Out to Campbell. Campbell dishes it off to Swanner. Back to Campbell. Cross court to Castanon in the corner. Yoder. Castanon dribbles with a right hand, goes around the screen and kicks it in the corner to Swanner, who drives and kicks it back out to Campbell. Campbell around his defender. Step back jumper on the way. This one is strong and no good, but an offensive rebound comes down to Colin Yoder. Enzor was fouled, but they said he traveled. I thought they was going to call a foul. Brendan Gokenauer, Jashawn McClung, and Tyler Sizemore into the lineup. They replace Peyton Enzor, Landon Swanner, and Drew Castanon. A 1-point lead for the JV Indians. 30-second timeout, Mississinewa. It is a 30-second. 11-10, 5:53 left in the second quarter. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Out of the timeout, here is Riley. Over to Fetterspill. Fetterspill taken away by McClung, and Yoder picks it up. Yoder to the right, back to the left in between his legs, goes into the defenders, kicks it in the corner. Gokenauer, who thought about a three, and makes the smart decision and kicks it back out. Here is Campbell. Around his defender, goes back out to Gokenauer. Yoder. Over to Sizemore. Sizemore to his left. They're going to call a blocking foul on number 20, Clayton Vachin. He's a 5'11 sophomore. Inbounding the ball is going to be Campbell. Campbell floats it up to Sizemore at the top of the key, swings it over to Campbell inside McClung, who goes up and puts it off the glass, no good. Rebound Yoder, who goes up, no good again. McClung comes away with it, gets it over to Gokenauer. Gokenauer to Yoder, back to Gokenauer. Sizemore, nice pass to Campbell, who was cutting to the basket, kicks it out to Sizemore. Now Gokenauer, good ball movement by the Indians, has a wide open three for Yoder, and he buried it. 14-10, a 4-point lead and the biggest lead of the game for both teams.
Great way to get around, find an open shot, and he hits it for a three-point basket.
Gokenauer, it's going to be a foul on number 40, Landon Wilson. It's his first. Landon Swanner back into the lineup for Mississinewa. 4:18 and counting left in the second quarter. Here's Swanner over to Yoder. In the corner, Gokenauer. Back to Yoder. Screen from McClung. Out to Gokenauer. Gokenauer launches a three. This one looks good, and it's perfect and nothing but net. The Indians stretch the lead to 7 at 17-10. A beautiful three by Gokenauer. Looked like a double dribble. Looked like he used both hands, but a missed shot anyway. And here comes Swanner back the other way. Over to Sizemore. See if they can stretch the lead to double digits on a three here. Yoder, baseline around his defender, goes up, puts it off the glass, and puts it in. It's a 9-point lead and a timeout, Norwell. It's a full timeout, or 30-second timeout. 19-10, 3:34 left in the half. Back after this 30-second timeout, this is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Indians playing good defense. Here's Landon Geiger. Inside, Hinchin off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for, brought away by Norwell. Hinchin goes up with a right hand, put it in and count it. He's going to the line for an old-fashioned three-point play. 19-12 with a free throw to come from Kyle Hinchin. Here's Swanner with a 6-point lead for the Indians. Over to Sizemore, back to Swanner, over to Gokenauer on the far side. Here's Swanner, has a wide open look at a three ball. This one is long. Rebound, McClung goes up with a right hand and puts it in.
Great rebound.
I like the offensive effort from the Indians here tonight.
Yeah, a lot better than last week with the slow-moving game, slow-moving pace, a lot better.
They had 30 total on Saturday, have 21 here with a chance to possibly score 30 before the half. Tay McClung checks in for the first time. Both of the McClung brothers on the floor. Gokenauer over to Swanner, top of the key. Dribbles to his left, goes around his defender in the corner, Sizemore. Out to Tay McClung. Over to Swanner, now to Sizemore. Tay McClung free throw line, goes around his defender. Looked like he traveled. He might have off the glass and put it in. The official saw otherwise. 23-13, a 10-point lead for the Indians. Tipped out of bounds. It's going to be Norwell basketball. Norwell and the Indians are in the same sectional. So both teams getting a good look at each other. Possible chance to meet up come March. Here's Geiger, a three. Off to the right and no good. Gokenauer didn't grab it all. Rolled off his right hand and out of bounds. A lucky break for Norwell. Eli Riley goes in with a right hand and misses it, and a rebound to the Indians. Swanner kicks it out to Sizemore, free throw line in the corner, Gokenauer. Now to McClung. Swanner. Sizemore look like the Indians are trying to milk the clock a little bit. McClung. This is Tay McClung. Free throw line jumper is up and off to the left and no good. Eli Riley down the far side goes up, and Jashawn McClung said, "Get out of my house." Eli Riley with the basketball. Over in the corner, this is Vatchen. Now to Hinchin. Hinchin over to Geiger. Defended by Gokenauer. Kicks it out. Vatchen almost traveled. Gets it to Rogers, or Riley, rather. Tipped, and Vatchen saves it. Tipped off of McClung. Looks like there's an offensive foul, and no call. Kicks it back out. Ethan Todd shuffled the feet. And the official blows the whistle and says it's a travel. 25 seconds to play in the opening half. Indians with a 10-point lead with Sizemore to inbound it to Swanner. Officials take the ball over to Coach Connor Cunningham. Gets it wiped off. Must have been a little bit of body fluid on there. Now we're ready to go. Thanks to those of you watching at home who couldn't make it out here tonight. Indians probably going to look for one shot. Here's Swanner. Gets it taken away by Riley. He goes up, and they're going to call a foul on Swanner. And I like that foul by Swanner. Not going to let him have anything easy. Try to get you an update on the junior varsity game up at Southern Wells. A free throw from Riley is good. We're trying to get you a score update from the Lady Indian basketball JV game at Southern Wells. (23-15), under 10 seconds to play. There's Sizemore. Brings it back out. Cross court to Swanner with 5. Swanner with 4. Swanner with 3. Now Sizemore, a 3 on the way. This one is short and no good, and that's the way the first half is going to end. At the end of the first half, the JV Indians lead the JV Knights 23-15. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and give you a score from Southern Wells. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School at the halftime break. The JV Indians lead the JV Knights 23-15 after losing to Huntington North this past Saturday 33-30. We're still working on getting you a score update from Southern Wells as the JV Lady Indians have tipped off against the JV Southern Wells Raiders. And the varsity will tip off following the junior varsity contest. We'll do our best to get you updates throughout the night on that. We'll be back with the second half in just a few moments. If we get a score update between now and the start of the second half, we'll come back and give you that. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. At the halftime break, the JV Indians lead 23-15. Across the way in the auxiliary gym, the freshman Indian basketball team, or the C team rather, it's not a freshman team, it's a C team, leads Norwell C team at the start of the third quarter 13-8. We're still working on getting you a girls basketball score. We'll do our best throughout the night. The second half getting ready to get underway here in the junior varsity contest. Cade Campbell, Landon Swanner, Evan Bellis, Drew Castanon, and Peyton Enzor on the floor for the Indians. Indians going to get the basketball here in the second half. They're going to move from right to left in their home white uniforms with the red trim. Norwell in their navy blue and gold trim going to move from left to right. Here's Castanon. Looks, trying to get it. Here's Campbell. Here's Enzor, goes right around his defender and has his pocket picked and off of Norwell and out of bounds.
That's a good way to start the third quarter.
Go right around your defender, then you get the ball knocked out of your hand. Here's Campbell, floats it up to Swanner. Swanner dribbles with his left hand and throws it over to Cade Campbell. Campbell to Castanon. Castanon looks, going to dribble with his right hand and get it over to Cade Campbell. Campbell around his defender, gets it to Enzor. Back to Campbell. Campbell goes right around his defender again and then brings it back out to Landon Swanner. Now Castanon, Bellis, driving baseline. Bellis goes up with a right hand and it's blocked. And back the other way comes the Norwell Knights. This is Eli Riley at the top of the key. Dribbles with his left hand. In the far corner, this is Ethan Todd. Todd to Riley. Riley defended by Campbell. Shot up off the glass and no good, and a rebound to Drew Castanon. And here's Campbell running the far side. Campbell gets to the free throw line and kicks it out to Bellis. And Bellis is going to swing it over to Swanner. Swanner free throw line inside to Enzor, who goes up strong with a right hand, and he's fouled. Got to like the aggression out of Peyton Enzor to go up strong, try to get the and one, but at least he drew the foul.
Yeah, going into the basket very strong, a very nice play. I like his aggressiveness.
Student section starting to fill up as we get closer to the varsity game. Enzor's free throw is nothing but net. A 9-point lead for the JV Indians. A good crowd on hand here for the junior varsity. Let's see if the varsity crowd can be just a tad bit bigger. Second free throw up and also nothing but net. The Indians' lead is back to 10 at 25-15. 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Pass inside and off of Bellis' foot. The pass was going to Drew Fetterspill. Inbounding is Riley. Fetterspill out to Todd. Todd eyes a three. This one is strong, and a rebound to Enzor, and it gets it over to Evan Bellis. In the corner, Castanon kicks it out to Bellis. Now Swanner dribbles between his legs. Goes inside to Enzor. Enzor goes around with a left-hand hook, no good. Castanon skies for the rebound, and it's off of his hand and out of bounds, and it's going to Norwell. Gotta like the aggression from Drew Castanon with 5 minutes left in the third. Indians lead by 10, 4:54 and counting left in the third quarter. Here's Todd, swings it over to Geiger, over to Riley. Riley goes right around his defender, launches a three ball. This one no good. An offensive rebound comes down to Wilson, and he kicks it out to Todd now. Fetterspill launches a three. This one rolls off the rim and no good, and right off of Geiger, and it's going to be Indian basketball. Here is Swanner. Over to Castanon. Out to Bellis. Here's Campbell. Inside, tries to get it to Inzer. Inzer kicks it out, Swanner. Tried to get it to Castanon. It's off of Castanon and back to Norwell, and that's a call that we like to say it's a make up for this one down here. 25-15, 4:12 and counting left in the third quarter. Riley in the corner. This Fetterspiel drives baseline, and he's tripped up and fouled by Peyton Inzer. I think that's going to be Inzer's second in the team's first of the half. It is Inzer's second. Here's Geiger, cross court to Fetterspiel. Here's Wilson. Knocked away. Here's Swanner out and running. Gets it to Campbell. Campbell saves it. Brings it back out and throws it. Here's Wilson. They said it's a foul on Swanner. And it is. It's going to be Landon Swanner's second foul. I thought he might have had all ball, but he might have got a little bit of a hand in there as well. So that's Swanner's second, the team's second. The Indians picked up 2 fouls within a minute of each other. Landon Wilson going to go to the line to shoot 2 for the Knights. This free throw is up and rolls in. And the lead is now 9. Jashawn McClung checks into the lineup for the Mississinewa Indians. One more free throw to come from Wilson. If he hits this one, it's an 8-point game. This one also up. This one short, and a rebound is fought for. Castanon fights for it, and it's going to stay Norwell basketball. 25-16. Kicks it out. Here's Riley. Throws it over. Here's Todd. Loses control and taken away by Swanner. Swanner goes to the free throw line, gets it inside to Castanon, kicks it out. Wide open 3-ball for Bellis is short. Back the other way comes Riley. Gets inside, goes up with a nice little right-hand layup and put it in. 25-18, a 7-point lead for the Indians. Here's Riley. Campbell's going to run it down and pick it back up with Riley all over him. Campbell goes inside, gets it to McClung, who goes up with a right hand, put it off the glass, puts it in, and the lead is back to 9. Campbell had the vision to see it, then he gets it inside. A beautiful pass from Cade Campbell to find McClung underneath the basket. Bellis tipped it away. Colin Yoder checks into the lineup. He is going to come in and replace Evan Bellis. 27-18 with 2:37 left in the third quarter. Riley, I don't think, has taken a break all game. Swings it over to Ethan Todd. Todd kicks it out to Geiger. Over to Fetterspiel. I don't think Norwell has subbed many players in all night. I think 2 subs. I think they've played 7 players in this junior varsity contest. 30-second timeout, Mississinewa. 27-18, 2:22 left in the third. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Riley drives to the baseline, kicks it out. Here's Todd going to fire up a three. This one is good, and the lead is now 6. Here's Swanner, gets it off to Campbell, and Campbell now going to run the point guard position. He's going to work across half court and get it to Deshaun McClung. Campbell goes right around his defender, put it up and put it in, and that is what he likes to call an and a one. Campbell going to the line to shoot a free throw. That's that football mentality in him, the aggression to drive right around his defender and go up. He put it off the glass. It went in, and now he's got a chance at an old-fashioned three-point play, and he converts it. The lead is back to 9. So a three from Todd is washed away because Campbell equaled that with an old-fashioned three. And now Riley puts it in on a jumper. Landon Swanner dribbles with his left hand, gets it over to Yoder. Tyler Sizemore looking like he's going to come in to check into the lineup at the scores table now, and he just checked in. He replaces Drew Castanon. Again, thank you to those of you watching at home. Couldn't do it without your support. Here is Yoder. Free throw line, goes right around his defender, kicks it back out. Here is Sizemore. Over to Cade Campbell, now Swanner. Jumper for 2, nothing but net. 32-23. Under 90 seconds to play here in quarter number 3. Riley out to Todd, now to Fetterspill. He launches a 3. This one no good. Rebound to Sizemore, and he gets it to Campbell. Campbell using the baseline to his advantage. Inside pass, McClung, right-hand layup, put it in, and it's 34-23 on a nice pass from Cade Campbell.
Yeah, great look. Get it down floor, get it the easy 2-point basket.
Fetterspill, free throw line, goes up, right-hand floater off the glass and in. Now they're just trading buckets. It's 34-25, 35 seconds and counting to play in quarter number 3. Swan around his defender, nice pass to McClung, and now Sizemore with a nice pass to McClung. This one is up, and it rolls in, and the lead is back to 11. The Indians are sharing the basketball now. Gokenauer to the scores table to check in. Three by Todd, no good. Yoder comes out away with it with 9 seconds to play in the third quarter. Swanner with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Swanner at the buzzer. This one is off to the left and no good, and that's the way we end the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, the JV Indians 36, the JV Knights 25. Back in 1 minute with the fourth quarter. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. 36-25, 11-point lead to start the fourth for the JV Indians. Riley drives to the baseline, goes up with the right hand, off the glass, no good. It rolls out. McClung comes away at the rebound, and here's Gokenauer. It's 3-on-2. In the corner, Yoder, 3-ball. This one is long, and a rebound comes down to Geiger. Just a little quick stat for you. The Class 2A top 10 poll has came out for the state of Indiana. The Oak Hill Golden Eagles are ranked at the top of the board in Class 2A. A three from Eli Riley is good. To the NFL. You got a little stat from the NFL. The Giants are going with quarterback Geno Smith over Eli Manning in this upcoming game. It'll be this weekend against the Oakland Raiders. It's going to break a streak, I think it's of 2 years or so. Eli Manning has started 210 consecutive games for the Giants, and now Geno Smith's going to break that record on a basket and a foul by Yoder at the far side. 38-28, 5:55 left in the ball game. One more free throw to go for Yoder for the old-fashioned three-point play opportunity. Free throw up. Perfect. 39-28. Eli Riley in the corner. Fetterspill. Baseline. Taken away by Gokenauer. Gokenauer gets it to Swanner to slow things down just a tad. Yoder to Swanner. Swanner to Gokenauer. Gokenauer back to Swanner. Now Yoder. He's wide open. I'd have pulled it. Now Swanner dribbles to his left around his defender. Right hand floater, no good. Rebound to. It's still being fought around for now. Taken away by Norwell. And now Swanner takes it away. He's going to go up. Right hand layup. Puts it in. And the lead is 41-28. A 13-point lead for the Indians.
Great play.
Now Norwell throws it out of bounds. And Gokenauer is going to inbound. This is what Coach Cunningham has looked for the team all season long, and he's getting it now. Bryce Ludke going to check into the lineup. He replaces Colin Yoder. Swanner. Left-hand dribble over to Gokenauer. Gets it across half court to Inzer. Back out to Swanner. Inside, Ludke goes up with a right hand, no good. Rebound, Inzer, no good. Gets another rebound. Goes up with a left hand and put it in. That's why you don't give up on the play. A beautiful play by Peyton Inzer to go back up to put it in the basket. 43-28, a 15-point lead and the largest lead of the game for the Indians. Geiger cross-court pass. Fumbled around. Wilson saves it to Fetterspill and goes up, knocked away out from Gokenauer. Now fought for. Now Riley with it. Free throw line goes up. They're going to call a body foul against Inzer, and that's going to be his third. Tay McClung at the scores table to check in. The ACC Big Ten Challenge kicks off this week with Purdue taking on number 17, Louisville, coming up this evening on ESPN. Indiana Pacers won last night, defeating the Orlando Magic. Victor Oladipo returned to the lineup for the Pacers, scoring 26 points on 11 of 14 shooting. This free throw rolls in and out. And Swanner is going to push it up the court to Ludke. Ludke goes up with a right hand, wanted a foul, but no call. Ludke to inbound. Indians in a bunch formation. Ludke floats it up to Gokenauer, now swings it over to Swanner. Swanner around his defenders, jumper on the way, no good. McClung trying to get the rebound. Floater up, count it, and the foul, Ethan Todd. I think Ryan has a score on the Baylor-Xavier game.
19-27 in the first with 7 minutes and 55 seconds left in the first.
Xavier leads that game. Purdue and Louisville will kick off at 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN. Savannah State and Wichita State will play tonight at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on ESPN3, and Toledo takes on number 2 Kansas at 8 p.m. also on ESPN3. 43-31, Swanner cross-court pass to Campbell, gets it to Bellis, and now Swanner going to grab a hold of it. Bellis, cross-court pass to McClung in the corner. McClung drives, goes up, puts up a shot. Thought he was fouled, but again, no call. Here's a shot up. Riley going to shoot the 3. This one's short. Rebound, Cade Campbell. Campbell running. Top of the key, goes inside, goes up with a right hand, and was fouled. Almost another and one. (43-31), 3:21 left in the JV contest. Varsity will be kicking off right around, or tipping off right around 7:30. Football went a little deep this year, so I'm still used to saying kicking things off. It's 44-31 on the free throw by Campbell was good, with one more to come. This one also good, and it's 45-31. Seth Maddox checks into the lineup to replace Bryce Ludke. In the corner, this is Vachin. Vachin gets it inside. Geiger, corner pass to Todd. Now Riley shoots a 3. This 3 by Riley, no good. Rebound, Swanner. Now to Campbell. Campbell looks. McClung. Back out to Swanner. Over to Maddox. Back over to Swanner. Top of the key. Dribbles to the left. In the corner, Maddox. Swanner. Over to Campbell. Campbell out to Bellis. Baseline. Kicked ball. Still Indian basketball. 2:36 remains in the JV contest. It's 45-31. A 14-point lead for the Indians. Here's Maddox. Over to Bellis. Now Swanner, top of the key. You think Indians are just milking the clock. Campbell. Over to Bellis. Bellis. Back to Campbell. Back over to Bellis. Bellis to Campbell. Campbell brings it back out. Inside McClung. McClung backs him down. Goes up, and they said he traveled. 7 o'clock, you're watching Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. 45-31, 14-point lead for the Indians with 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Again, going to do our best to get you a Lady Indians basketball score as they take on Southern Wells tonight. 3 up, 3, nothing but net by Drew Fetterspiel.
Those are the shots that you have to block out. Like we said last game, you have to block out.
It's a jump ball. Possession of Mississinewa. 45-34 with Indians with an 11-point lead. Campbell to inbound. Gets to Castanon. 90 seconds to play. Campbell. Out to Maddox. Over to Ludke. Bryce looking. Now Maddox dribbles to the left. Inside McClung. Goes up. Right hand. No good. Rebound. Maddox goes inside. Shot up. No good. Rebound fought for and taken away by Norwell. Down to a minute to play. Eli Riley with the basketball. Now Todd. Deflected by Campbell and out of bounds. It's still Norwell basketball. 55.3 seconds to play. The Mississinewa Indians are going to improve to 2-1 on the season. 3 up by Geiger, no good. Rebound Ludke, and that just about does it. Maddox going to pull the 3. No good. Ludke goes up for the board. Gets it. Now he goes up and he's fouled. Let's see if they call it on the floor. It was on the shot. And now Bryce Lutke going to the line to shoot 2. 42 seconds left. Lutke's free throw up and good. And make it 46-34, a 12-point lead for the Indians. One more to come for Bryce Lutke. Second one also good. It's a 13-point lead for the Indians, and that is going to do it. 42 down to 40 seconds left in the game.
The Indians' free throws have been doing very well tonight, a lot better than last games.
Here's Lutke. Over to Campbell. Campbell to Maddox. Back out to Campbell, 20 seconds to play. Maddox. Campbell down to 10. That's going to do it. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's the way this ballgame's going to end. At the end of the ballgame, the JV Indians improved to 2-1, defeating Norwell 47-34. Be back in a few minutes with the Varsity Pregame Show. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Well, good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Mississinewa High School for tonight's boys varsity basketball action between the visiting Norwell Knights and your Mississinewa Indians. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott. The JV Indians just defeated Norwell 47-34. And now the varsity has come onto the floor to start their pregame action. The Indians was defeated against Huntington North on Saturday, 36-30. It came down to the final few seconds of that game. Indians down 2. Heisman Skeens had the basketball, tried to get it to Tabit Galt. It was deflected, taken away by Huntington North. They went down, made a layup, and an intentional foul was called on Tabit Galt, which gave Huntington North 2 free throws in the basketball. They hit both of those free throws, and that's where we ended things out at 36-30. Well, Ryan, as I said in the JV game, tonight we're looking for different results out of the Indians here tonight.
Definitely, like we talked about earlier in the pregame and JV, the varsity started off slow and they ended slow. And what really caused them and what can cause any basketball team is fouls. They get in foul trouble, and that's what hurts them. And especially when their top best players get in foul trouble, that's really what hurts them.
Yeah, something that I'm really looking forward to out of the Indians here tonight. I talked to Coach Everett a few minutes ago, and you'll hear that interview coming up here in just a few minutes. But something I'm looking forward out of the Indians tonight is their offense of tempo. Coach Everett was not very happy with how the Indians played Huntington North's game. Huntington North slowed the Indians down. The Indians slowed down with them, and that's why they only scored 30 points. The Indians normally speed things up offensively, and Coach Everett said that's the game plan tonight, is to speed things up and play Indian basketball. 18 minutes on the pregame clock. As you can see, both teams warming up. Norwell comes in at 2-0, defeating Adams Central this past Saturday, 49-43. Mississinewa again lost to Huntington North, 36-30. The Indians are 1-1. They defeated Manchester last Wednesday, 64-52. Tabit Galt had 29 points and 15 rebounds in that game. But the big story all summer long and now has been the transfer out of Marion High School. Anthony Horton, just a sophomore, and is now starting at the point guard position. Ryan, what did you see out of Anthony on Saturday?
Even though it was a slow-moving game, I saw a lot of energy out of him. He was excited to be on Mississinewa's court, playing very well. And like I said just a second ago, he played with a lot of energy.
Anthony Horton led the Indians in scoring with 12 points on Saturday. And something that I liked out of him is how when a team plays a 2-3 zone, the goal is to get it to the free throw line, get to the center of the zone to break that zone, and then you get a wide open shot at the free throw line. Horton did that. He would drive to the free throw line, and then he would go around his defender with a nice little spin move and go up, and 9 times out of 10 he would draw the foul or he would hit the shot. Horton was 0 for 4 from the free throw line, and that's something Coach Everett was not happy about. The Indians as a team missed 7 free throws, and they missed 15 three-pointers. You shoot like that 9 times out of 10, you will not win the basketball game.
Yeah, like we said, free throws hurt you. It doesn't matter if you're, here, college, or NBA, it hurts you very bad.
16 minutes on the pregame clock. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back and hear the words of head coach Andrew Everett. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. with Coach Everett's. Coach, coming in off of a loss to Huntington North on Saturday. Had practice yesterday. How has practice been, or how was practice yesterday?
It was really, really good. We kind of had a little meeting before we started practice, and our guys were really, really upset that they lost that game. We told them there were a lot of positives. We were really good defensively. We didn't shoot the ball well, but we were still in position to potentially win that game. So, I mean, it was great to hear them kind of be upset about it and want more for themselves. And then we had a phenomenal practice, so I'm really excited to see how we look tonight.
Had the chance to look at Norwell's roster. Looks like they got a couple big guys down low. Kind of tell us what you know about Norwell and maybe possibly those guys down low.
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team. They were a really good basketball team last year. We beat them at their place, but I think we kind of got lucky because they were a tough team. I think it was their first game of the year last year. A couple of their games got postponed because of football, so I don't think they were quite ready for that game. Well, they've had 2 games to warm up for us this year, so I expect a battle. The Nicholson kid and the Geiger kid, 6'5", 6'7", both good, kind of traditional post players. That'll provide a little bit of a challenge for us. We did good against size Saturday night, but these guys are going to bang down low a little bit more, so we'll see how our guys respond.
What was the motto at practice? As you said, the guys were upset. So what were some of the things that you feel like from Saturday that you needed to get fixed for Norwell here tonight?
We just worked on a lot of our offensive stuff. We felt like our defense was really well. We'll obviously get back to our defense, but with just one practice in between games, we did our scout team stuff, and then we did a lot of offense. Because our offense was close. I mean, I know it looked ugly at times, but our guys just got a little confused with being patient and kind of playing slow. So just, cutting harder, screening harder, stuff like that. And we think we got that fixed, so hopefully the turnaround's good and we look good tonight.
Coach, thank you for your time. Hopefully you get back on the winning side of things, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you very much.
Back after this on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School as we continue with more of our pregame show. Mississinewa again comes in at 1-1. Norwell comes in at 2-0. And as you heard Coach Everett say, they've got a couple of tough customers down low in a Will Geiger, who stands at 6'5", and he's a sophomore, and Brandon Nicholson stands at 6'7", and he is a senior. So a couple of tough guys down low that the Indians have got to stop. The Indians have one guy that's pretty tall that's down low, and Tabit Galt, but Elijah Bounds is the other one who's 6'5", and Bounds not able to go here tonight. So that's going to present some problems for the Indians. You've got Tabit Galt, who stands at 6'6", Elijah Bounds is 6'5", but like I said, again, Elijah Bounds unable to go and play here tonight due to a few things going on with him and the team. So let's see how the Indians can play defensively. Coach Everett was pretty impressed with the way they played defensively against Huntington North. He didn't like the offensive tempo and how slow they played, and that's what kept them from possibly winning that game. And there was one play in that game, Ryan, that I said during the broadcast that I really thought was a deciding factor in that game. A Jalen Martin 3 with 30 seconds to go. Mississinewa down 3, 32-29. Martin shoots a 3. It rolls around the rim literally probably 6 times and then just falls off. And if Martin hits that 3, they're tied at 32. I think that changes the whole entire complexion of that basketball game.
It would if he had a very good shot. It's just kind of those unlucky kind of things. But, again, he had a very good shot, and that would have turned the crowd, the bench around tremendously. And they could have had a very, very good chance of winning that if he hit that three-point shot.
Yeah, when I asked Coach Everts, he says if Martin hits that three, he thinks that the Indians go on and win the game. And we got some stats for you for Mississinewa. We'll start with Mississinewa, and then we'll take a break and come back and give you some Norwell stats. But as a team for Mississinewa, they average 47 points per game to go along with 46% shooting from the floor. So 46% shooting, not too bad. They average 24 rebounds a game to go along with 8.5 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks per game. For the players, the points per game, Tabit Galt leads all scorers with 18 points a game. Tabit Galt also leads the rebounds with 12.5. Assists per game for the Indians, Anthony Horton, 2 assists per game. Larry Dean has 1.5 steals a game, and Tabit Galt leads the blocks category with 1 block per game. So that is the leaders. Jalen Martin has scored 11 points this season. Trey Jones only scoring 4. Let's look at stats by the game. Against Manchester, the Indians scored 64 points on 28 of 47 shooting. That's 60%. Anytime you shoot 60%, you're 9 times out of 10 going to win that basketball game. Against Huntington North, not too pretty for the Indians, only scoring 30 points on 11 of 37 shooting for 30%. And that's how we get to 39 of 84 this season, 46%. Three-pointers for the Indians, they were 3 of 12 against Manchester for 25%, and just 2 of 16 against Huntington North for 13%. As a team, the Indians are not a three-point shooting team. 5 of 28 this season for only 18% as a team. From the free throw line, the Indians are 11 of 23 this year for only 48%, so the three-pointers and the free throws have really killed the Indians this season. We'll take a timeout and come back and talk Norwell stats. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. We continue with our pregame show. We were going to talk a little bit about Norwell stats, but I don't know where my stat sheet went. And, without a stat sheet, I can't give you the correct stats. I can tell you that they did score 49 points against Adams Central on Saturday to Adams Central 43. So it looks like Norwell plays very good defensively, only giving up 43 points to Adams Central on Saturday. The height advantage definitely has to go to Norwell with a 6'5" and a 6'7" player. They don't have a single person under 5 foot or under 6 foot. Their roster goes 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4", 6'2", 6'1". There is one player that's under 6 foot, 5'8", and then 6 foot, 6'3", 6'7", 6'2". So that's a pretty big Norwell basketball team. And you look at Mississinewa, it goes 4 players that are 6 foot, 1 6'5", 5'6", 6'1", 5'9", and then 6'6", and then 6'3". After that, you don't have much height, but every single player besides one on Norwell's roster is 6 foot or taller. The other one is 5'8". As you can hear in the background, I'm sure the band is rocking and rolling here. The student section is starting to fill up. The crowd is, a decent crowd for it being a Tuesday night. And we're ready for Indian basketball as the Indians come in at 1-1. Norwell comes in at 2-0. Let's see if the Indians can speed things up tonight like Coach Everett had asked, and possibly score their highest amount in points this year. Their highest amount this year in points is 64 against Manchester last Wednesday, defeating them 64-52, and then scoring only 30 against Huntington North on Saturday. So if the Indians can at least score 50, I think, I'm going to say the magic number for the Indians to win this game is 55 or more. If you don't score 55 or more, I think the Indians lose this game.
I would agree with you because last game, what did you say, 64 points?
64 against Manchester, and they won. 30 against Huntington North, and they lost.
Yeah, so they're right in the middle. I agree with you. 50, 55 points will win this ball game.
Now, for Norwell, I think they want to slow things down and make it a low-scoring game because I think the most they've scored in a game all season has been 49 against Adams Central on Saturday. So both teams really seem like they're two totally different offenses. Norwell looks like they're a slower moving offense. They like to slow things down, take their time, and get high-quality shots. And Mississinewa likes to speed things up and, shoot it from the three-point line, but percentage-wise, I don't like the Indians shooting it from the three-point line, only shooting 28% from three-point range. That is not a very good percentage.
No, get it right by the free-throw line, hit a two-point jumper, and you're good. You don't really need that many three-point shots. If you're wide open for a three-point shot, sure, take it. But if you're not wasting time, get that three-point or two-point bucket.
The Indians, a 48% free-throw shooting team. And, I don't necessarily like the Indians getting fouled and having to go to the free-throw line because in that situation, only shooting 48%, your chances of hitting your free throws are not very good. Anthony Horton, like we said on Saturday, went 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Connor Wilson missed a free throw, and Tabit Galt was 5 of 6, only missing one free throw. So Tabit Galt led the Indians at the free throw line, going 5 of 6 for 83% on Saturday. Connor Wilson just 1 for 3 from the free throw line, and Anthony Horton 0 for 4. And as being a guard in Horton, and being a guard for Wilson, you would think those would be the guys leading your team from the free throw line, not Tabit Galt, who stands at 6'6". We're about 2 minutes away from getting the starting lineup in the national anthem, and we'll come back with the tip-off after this 2-minute timeout. You're watching Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network.
the next varsity boys basketball game between the visiting Norwell Knights and your Mississinewa Indians. Sportsmanship for the non-highway CIC at Mississinewa High School. In addition to this athletic event, titles usually join exhibition skills developed by the student athletes. Please give these athletes your encouragement and support. Efforts to applaud the talents of all participants is greatly appreciated. Bullying, taunting, or intimidating officials, coaches, or athletes is unacceptable and unsportsmanlike. At this time, asking everyone to please rise and remove all hats as we honor America for our national anthem, which will be performed by the Northview Elementary Choir under the direction of Mrs. Shelley Neal.
So welcome back to Mississinewa High School. We're going to turn things over to public address announcer Kurt McCollum with tonight's starting lineups.
lineup for your Mississinewa Indians. Starting at one guard, 6-foot senior, number 12, Jalen Martin. Another guard, 6-foot sophomore, number 22, Anthony Horton. Third guard position, 5'6", senior, number 30, Connor Wilson. At forward, 6-foot senior, number 21, Ray Jones. And at center, 6'6", senior, number 42, Evan Gold. He is coached by Ian Weathers and assistant James Reed. This is for the safety, David Bradford, Egon Smith, and Rob Fulkerson.
So as you heard from Kurt McCollum, the starting lineups, and we're just getting ready to get underway from Gas Cities. The Norwell Knights and the Mississinewa Indians are set to clash. It's going to be Nicholson and Galt tipping things up 6'7" against 6'6". Nicholson stands at 6'7", Tabit Galt stands at 6'6". The official comes to center court, and what's a big crowd for a Tuesday night. Here we go. Taps up, controlled by Mississinewa. They're in their home white uniforms with the red trim, moving from left to right. Here's Horton, top of the key. Swings it over to Connor Wilson. Wilson between the legs dribble and brings it back out. Norwell sits in a 2-3 zone. Pass over to Horton now, Trey Jones in the corner. Jones looking, gets it over to Horton. Now Wilson drives inside, brings it back out, steps back for a 3 ball. This one is a little bit long, and a rebound comes down to Trey Jones. Jones fighting for it on the floor. It's going to be out of bounds in Norwell basketball. I like the effort and the hustle out of Trey Jones. Just got caught up in the corner and ran out of space.
Right, that play right there, it seems like the Indians have more energy than last games. More energy will help the team towards that win.
Thorson going to control the ball, swings it over to Zetis. Here's Nicholson. Geiger goes inside against Jones, turns around, puts a right-hand hook shot up, and put it in the basket. Norwell with a 2-0 lead just a minute into the ball game. Here's Horton. Pass over to Connor Wilson in the corner to Trey Jones. Jones floats it up to Tabit Galt. Now Wilson trying to drive. Nice spin move, goes up, and he wants a foul, and now it's called. A little delayed on the whistle, but Connor Wilson is going to go to the free throw line, and the foul is going to be on Norwell Knight number 40, Brandon Nicholson, going to be his first and a team's first. Connor Wilson at the line to shoot 2, went 1 for 3 on Saturday. Free throw up by Wilson and nothing but net. See if he can complete this one and make it a tie ball game with 6:47 left in the first quarter. Second free throw on the way from Wilson. This one rolls around, no good. Tabit Galt with an offensive rebound and gets it back to Wilson, and now he's going to bring it back out. Wilson trying to get it to Galt. Now Martin. Back over to Wilson. Wilson drives baseline, inside pass to Tabit Galt. Turnaround right-hand layup off the glass. And in the basket, the Indians with a 1-point lead at 3-2. Nice little dish from Wilson to Galt. That's what we've seen last year, a lot of connection between the two. Over to Thorson inside, lob pass to Geiger off the glass and in. A nice play back the other way from Norwell, and it's a 1-point ball game at 4-3. Here's Horton. Dribbling to his right, swings it over to Trey Jones. Horton to Wilson. Wilson back to Horton. Horton goes inside. Right-hand layup, a little too strong and no good. And back the other way comes Norwell. This is Levi Luddig. In the corner, Thorson kicks it back out. Geiger with the basketball, kicks it out. Inside, they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Jalen Martin. It is on number 12, Jalen Martin. His first and a team's first. 4-3, 5:31 left in the opening quarter. Inbounding is Luke Zettis. Now this is Connor Thorson. Now Zettis with a left-hand layup, no good. A rebound comes down to Norwell. Brandon Nicholson standing with it up top and gets it off to Thorson. Inside. Nicholson, two-point jumper on the way and buried it, nothing but net. And it's 6-3, a three-point lead for Norwell. Here's Horton, swings it over to Martin. Jalen looking, gets it over to Horton, gets a screen from Galt. Horton goes inside, kicks it back out to Jalen Martin, and now swings it over to Connor Wilson. Here's Horton, fakes his defender, goes up, right hand shot off the glass and put it in. A nice move by Horton to get around his defender to get a wide open lane. 6-5. Nicholson with the basketball. Pass over to Zettis. Here's Nicholson. Looks like he traveled. Now he goes around Galt, and they said he traveled this time. A turnover on Norwell. Tabit Galt playing solid defense down low. Nicholson not liking the call, but the official's not going to change his mind. Horton going to bring it down the left side of the court. And tried to get it to Martin, and now he gets it over to Wilson. Wilson playing good, paying attention there. Saved it from going out of bounds. Jones to Horton. Horton inside Tabit Galt. Goes around his defender, gets it to Jones. Off the glass and put it in. A nice dish and a nice eye from Tabit Galt.
Nice look when you're under the basket. Find someone open for an easy two-point basket. That was a very good play.
7-6, 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. Zettis on the far side. Swings it over to Thorson. Inside Nicholson, Galt playing man-to-man. Wilson comes over to help, now goes back. Galt playing man-to-man. Nicholson lowering his shoulder, puts it in, and goes up. I'm going to try for an old-fashioned three-point play. Who's the foul going to be on? It's going to be on Indian number 42, Tabit Galt. His first and the team's second. I thought Galt was straight up. Must have got him with the body. Nicholson going to the line for his first free throw of the evening. Free throw is up and good, and it's a two-point lead for Norwell at 9-7. Anthony Horton, the transfer from Marion High School, working the left side. Wilson drives baseline, throws it in the corner to Trey Jones, who's going to launch a three, and this one rims in and out. Wilson comes down with the rebound, goes up, reverse layup is no good. Indians getting good opportunities. Here's Liddick over to Thorson. Connor, defended by Connor Wilson. Over to Luddig. Now Geiger. Zettis in the corner. Galt trying to deny him. Here's Thorson. Working the ball. Up top of the key. Connor Wilson all over him. Horton almost had it. Now Luddig drives to the baseline. Throws it in the corner. Wide open Zettis for a three. This one rolls around, no good. Knocked away, fighting for it on the floor. Now Trey Jones comes away with it and gets it to Connor Wilson. It's 1-on-3, and Wilson's going to bring it back out. Wilson goes inside. Nice pass over to Tabit Galt, who steps back for a three and watches it sink right through the nylon. Three-point basket, Tabit Galt, and a timeout, Mississinewa. It's 10-9, 2:37 left in the first quarter. Nice play from Connor Wilson. Tabit Galt stepped back and nailed the three, and that's what Tabit has worked on all summer long, and that is what makes him such a dynamic player. Last year, he could only play the post. Now, he's got a jumper, and that one he stepped back and nailed it. Nice look from Connor Wilson. Like I said, Galt and Wilson play AAU basketball together in the summer, so they know what each other's strengths and weaknesses are. Tabit Galt with 5 points. Only taking 2 shots tonight, and he's hit both. He has half of the Indians' points. Norwell going to come out of the timeout from Coach Everts. Everts took a 30-second timeout, probably going to make an adjustment defensively and try to get a little momentum. Connor Thorson going to work the ball, defended by Connor Wilson. Gets it over in the corner to Ludwig. Ludwig to Nicholson at the free throw line. Kicks it back out, Ludwig. Swings it over. Here's Nicholson, defended by Galt. Geiger inside, Jones with a hand on it. Deflects it, it's out of bounds. Indian basketball, a good defensive stance from Trey Jones. Trey Jones stands at 6 foot. Geiger stands at 6'5", and Jones played good defense there and made Geiger look pretty bad. Horton top of the key. Swings it over to Connor Wilson. Trying to get it to Galt. Now Wilson inside to Jones. Pump fake, kicks it out. Martin, wide open three, lets it fly, no good. And a rebound comes down to Geiger. Thorson to Zetis. Jones playing good defense. Now Geiger drives baseline, knocked Martin right to the floor and no call. Zetis wild shot up, no good. Rebound, Tabit Galt. And here's Wilson. Out and running Wilson. Goes to his left, inside, kicks it out in the corner to Jones. Stands there, shoots the three, no good, and a rebound to Nicholson. Jones had a nice look in the corner, just couldn't get it to fall. Ludwig drives inside to Geiger, right hand off the glass and in, and Norwell takes back the lead at 11-10. Larry Dean at the scores table to set to check in for the Ole Miss Indians. Horton back out to Wilson, over to Martin. Cross court pass to Wilson. Skip past to Martin, over to Horton in the far corner. Back to Martin. Martin to Horton. Anthony. Indians slowing things down. Horton kicks it out. Martin. Pump fake. Launches it. This one off the top of the backboard and no good. 42 seconds to play in the first, and it's going back to Norwell. Larry Dean into the lineup. He replaces Trey Jones. Dean is a 6'1" junior. Thorson going to control the point for Norwell with 35 seconds and counting remaining in the first quarter. Top of the key, swings it over. Geiger, defended by Dean. Wild shot up into traffic is no good, and an offensive rebound shot up by Hinchin was no good, and a rebound to Tabit Galt, who dishes it off to Horton, and now Coach Everts tells the Indians, we want one shot here. 15 seconds and counting. Down to 10 seconds with Horton, over to Wilson. Wilson with 7 seconds, inside Galt with 6. Loses the handle of it. Down to 1, and that's the way the first quarter is going to end. At the end of the first quarter, Norwell 11, Mississinewa 10. Back in 1 minute with the start of the second quarter. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back with the start of the second quarter. Indians trail by 1. Here's Zettis over to Nicholson. Nicholson over to Ludwig, and now gets it over to Purdy, who just checked in. Nicholson defended by Galt. Looked like he traveled, puts up a shot, and it goes in. It looks like every time Nicholson backs down Galt, he lowers his shoulder right into Galt's chest, which is normally called an offensive foul, but the officials are going to let him play on. Here's Wilson, almost lost control. It's going to be a kick ball on Norwell against Luke Zettis. Inbounding is Horton. Gets it to the back court to Wilson, and now he's going to bring it across half court. Wilson free throw line. Tried to get it inside to Martin, and it's a turnover on Connor Wilson. Let it go. Purdy, Wilson takes it away, running the floor. Gets it over to Horton. Goes up, too far underneath the basket and misses the shot. Ludwig, here's Purdy, Quentin Purdy, over to Levi Ludwig in the corner, defended by Galt. Goes up, misses it. Larry Dean comes down with a rebound and gets it off to Wilson, and now Connor's going to slow things down to set up the offense. Top of the key, dribbles to his left, back to the right, and swings it over to Jalen Martin. Horton, inside tab at Galt. He's being fouled and no call. Purdy, Nicholson, free throw line, turnaround jumper, no good. Larry Dean goes to grab the rebound and dishes it off to Connor Wilson. And now Wilson dribbles to his left in between the legs, back to the right. Goes inside, gets it to Larry Dean, who loses control, but it's off of Norwell. It was tipped out of his hands. Heisman Skeens checks into the lineup for the Mississinewa Indians, a 5'9" junior, getting his first opportunity here tonight. Had an outstanding football season and hopes to continue that here on the basketball side. Dean over to Horton, back to Skeens, and now Horton. Horton brings it up to the top of the key, drives, kicks it out to Heisman Skeens. Skeens working to Martin. Martin to Horton. Anthony inside, goes up with a right-hand shot, no good. Offensive rebound to Tabit Galt. Goes up with a right hand, missed it. And a rebound comes down to Levi Ludwig. They're going to call a foul, I think, on Anthony Horton. It was on Indian number 33, Heisman Skeens. I didn't even see Skeens in the vicinity of the play. 13-10, Norwell with the lead, and Heisman Skeens just picked up his first foul and the team's third. Thorson around Skeens in the corner. Here's Geiger, elbow jumper, no good. Rebound Larry Dean, loses control. Ludwig picks it up, puts it in, and a basket in the foul. Levi Ludwig. Foul was on Indian number 22, Anthony Horton, his first and the team's first. Ludwig's free throw is good, and checking in is Trey Jones replacing Larry Dean. Horton with the basketball. Going to work it across half court. Here's Skeens. Now Martin hands it off to Horton. Here's Skeens over to Jalen Martin. Jalen working. Gets a screen from Galt now. Horton drives baseline, goes up with a right-hand layup and put it in.
Great drive.
That's what we need more of, is Horton to get into the paint. 16-12, a 4-point lead for the Knights. You're not going to stop Anthony Horton when he gets that close to the basket. Nicholson defended by Galt. Just keeps putting his shoulder right into Galt. And a rebound tab at Galt, and it's going to be an over-the-back foul on Brandon Nicholson. And that's Nicholson's second. I'm looking to see if Coach Everts will possibly make a substitution now that Nicholson's out of the game. I don't think Tabit Galt has exited the game yet here. Inside pass, Galt, double teamed, tried to get it to Jones, and then it was taken away by Luke Zetis. Ludwig goes back the other way. Here's Geiger in the corner, kicks it out to Ludwig, defended by Horton. Now Geiger. Ludwig a three. This one rolls around, no good. Rebound fought for. Tabit Galt comes away with it, and now Geiger takes it away. Zetis to Thorson, defended by Jones. Zetis going to launch a three. This one rolls around, no good. And an over-the-back foul on Kyle Hinchin. Tabit Galt is just getting beat around down underneath the paint. 16-12. The Indians have only scored 2 points this quarter. Here's Horton. Anthony working the basketball. Gets it over to Heisman Skeens. Heisman over to Trey Jones in the corner. Back to Skeens. Over to Jalen Martin. Martin back to Skeens. Now Horton. Skeens hands it off to Horton. Anthony in the corner to Martin, who flies a three ball, and this one rolls around and no good. Skeens goes up, puts it off the glass, and he's fouled. I think the foul is going to go on Kyle Hinchin, who's number 42, and that would be his second. No, it's on night number 5, Will Geiger, his first, team's fourth, and now Heisman Skeens going to go to the line for 2 free throws. First free throw for Skeens is up and short and no good. Those of you who follow Indian basketball, Skeens played basketball as a freshman, took his sophomore year off, and now he's back as a junior and misses both free throws. Tabit Galt, the offensive rebound, and kicks it back out to Skeens. Here's Horton. Over to Heisman Skeens. In the corner, Jalen Martin, who thought about a three, now swings it over to Skeens, and he gets it to Horton, who drives inside. They're going to call a travel on Horton. He did take a step with that, took 2 steps, and then accidentally slipped on that third one. And that's why it's a travel. 4-point lead for the Knights with 2:48 and counting left in the second quarter. It's 16-12. Here's Geiger, defended by Jones. Kicks it out. Here's Zetis. Thorson, Geiger jump shot up. It's a rainbow, no good, and an offensive rebound comes down to Connor Thorson. Ludwig, top of the key. Dribbling with his right hand, gets it over to Zetis. Zetis going to shoot a three. This one is nothing but net. 19-12. Here's Heisman Skeens. Swings it over to Anthony Horton, and now Jalen Martin in the corner. Martin goes around his defender, goes up. Wanted a foul, but no call. I like the take that Martin had. He went up, skied up for the layup. Maybe got a little bit of body in there, but it was a good no call. Ludwig defended by Skeens. Drives baseline into Tabit Galt and kicks it back out to Hinchin. Now a wide open three for Thorson. Nothing but net. And a timeout, Coach Everts. It's going to be a full. It's a full timeout. 22-12, a 10-point lead for the Knights, their largest lead of the game. Back after this 60-second timeout. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School, where they trail by 10. Norwell is on an 11-2 run here in this second quarter. I'd like to give a shout out while we have a chance to the varsity cheerleaders coached by Ariel Castanon, Felicia Cornejo, Alexis Tignor, Michaela Donish, Jacqueline Smith, Juliana Smith, Peyton Martin, and Abby Oler, the varsity cheerleaders, coached by Ariel Castanon. Here's Horton, cross-court pass to Skeens. Now here's Horton, over to Skeens. Skeens traveled. And now Connor Wilson going to check in for Heisman Skeens. (22-12) with 1:20 left in the first half. Indians only scored 2 points so far this quarter to Norwell's 11. That's something Coach Everett, I'm sure, is not happy about. 3 up, no good. Geiger offensive rebound, puts it off the glass and in, and it's a 12-point lead. Here's Wilson over to Horton. Jones over to Horton. Horton to Jones. Now to Horton. Out to Wilson. Wilson going to launch the 3. This one no good. Rebound, Tabit Galt. Galt goes up. There's a foul on the floor, but Tabit Galt is all over the boards here tonight. Tabit's got, I'm going to go off, I'm not keeping track of rebounds, but I think Tabit's Galt has at least 7 or 8 rebounds so far here in the first half.
Yeah, he's doing very good underneath the basket, and he finally got the foul that he wanted down here.
Larry Dean checks in. Wilson to Galt. Tabit out to Larry Dean. Now Horton down to 29 seconds. Anthony to Martin. Now Horton. Around his defender, goes up. Nice pass to Tabit Galt, who puts it in for 2 points. 12-4 run by Norwell. Down to 10 seconds. Norwell going to take the last shot of the half. That is the 3 at the buzzer. This one rims in and out. And at the end of the first half, Norwell 24, Mississinewa 14. That's a 10-point lead for the Knights. Go ahead and give you some individual scoring for both teams. For Norwell, Luke Zettis with 3. Will Geiger has 8. Connor Thorson with 3. Levi Ludwig with 3. And Brandon Nicholson has 7. For the Mississinewa Indians, Trey Jones with 2. Anthony Horton with 4. Connor Wilson with 1. Tabit Galt with 6, and that rounds out the Indian scoring in the first half. Again, at the halftime break, Norwell 24, Mississinewa 14. Come back with the second half in just a few moments. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Just a little quick halftime update in girls basketball. The Mississinewa Lady Indians traveled to Southern Wells, and the junior varsity won. And in the second quarter, Southern Wells leads the Mississinewa Lady Indians 18-17 with 6:19 left in the first half.
Thursday, November 30th.
Well, welcome back to Mississinewa High School, where we get after halftime. Indians had the ball. Swings it over to Martin. Martin goes to Horton. Horton goes to Wilson. Horton goes to back to Martin. Martin with the three-point basket, and it's no good. Rebound Belmont or Norwell. Norwell swinging left to right. Coming inside the basket, taking it outside. Up to the top of the key. Goes up under the basket. Two-point basket, and it's good, and he's fouled on the play. Brandon Nicholson at the line, shooting one. Goes up, makes his first and only. Indians send back to their side.
Horton with the basketball over to Connor Wilson. Horton inside, shot up, and this one is no good. Wilson takes it away. He's out and running, gets it to Horton. Horton goes up with a reverse layup, no good. Jones up, right hand, no good, too strong. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, no good. Tabit Galt rebound, put it up and in. With the ball is Ludwig, knocked away off of Horton. $11-point lead for the Knights. Anthony Horton takes it away. He goes up with a layup and put it in. 27-18. Horton slips and almost slipped and fell. The ball knocked away. Tabit Galt picks it up. And now Wilson comes away with it. And now Trey Jones. They're on the floor fighting for it. It's off of Norwell, and it's going to the Indians. I like the effort here in the second half out of Mississinewa. They are fighting and fighting and fighting.
Yeah, coming out of halftime with more energy, hoping to get that score back up to what they want, and that's ahead.
18-27. A 9-point lead for the Knights. Horton. Here's Martin over to Wilson. Wilson looking, trying to get it inside to Galt. Now cross-court pass to Anthony Horton. Horton step back, now over to Wilson, who had a wide open three, drove around his defender, 2-point jumper up and put it in, and now it's a 7-point lead. The Indians have scored 6. The Indians on a 6-3 run. Zettis goes inside, takes it back out. Here's Nicholson gonna shoot the 3 ball. Nicholson's 3 is good. The lead back to 10 at 30-20. Here's Horton over to Wilson. Wilson brings it back out, cross court to Horton. He's going to shoot a deep 3. This one is good, and that one was from outer limits. Anthony Horton took a little step back, and he said, "You got to get right up on me, or I'm going to hit it." 30-23 on a nice 3 by Anthony Horton. Here's Zettis. The Indians' defense is playing very tough here. Martin defends Zettis. Zettis inside, shot up, no good. Rebound Jalen Martin, and he gets it to Wilson. They're out and running. Trey Jones beats his defender down the court, puts a left-handed layup off the glass, and it's a timeout, Norwell. 30-25, 4:39 left in the third. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Out of the timeout, it's 30-25. The Indians have cut the lead down to 5 after being down 10 at the half. Anthony Horton's 3 was huge. It was definitely at least NBA range. Zettis going to drive to the baseline. Indians trap, take it away. Tabit Galt fighting for it. Now Martin, it's going to be a jump ball. Possession is to Norwell. Ryan, how about this defensive intensity out of the Indians here this second half?
It's like almost like a new team or another day for the Indians coming out of halftime. More energy, playing a lot better together as a team.
We're going to have a foul. I think it's going to go on Tabit Galt on the floor. No, it's on number 30, Connor Wilson, his first, team second. Zettis inbounding again. Here's Thorson. Wilson creeps up to him. Now in the corner, Zettis, defended by Martin. Dorson, defended by Wilson. Martin cheating to the left to let Zettis drive, and now he drives into Tabitgalt and kicks it out to Nicholson. A two-point jumper, no good. Geiger, the offensive rebound, and puts it in. 32-25. Here comes Anthony Horton down the other way. Horton kicks it out to Jones. Now back to Horton. Horton drives, kicks it out. Martin fakes the three, kicks it out to Tabitgalt. Galt, a three. This one is good. 32-28. They just traded threes, and it's a 4-point lead for the Knights. The Indians are roaring to life here in the second half. Zettis looked like he traveled. In the corner, Ludwig, a three to answer. No good. Ludwig goes up, puts it up with a left hand and put it in. Here's Horton. Anthony drives inside. Spin move, right hand, up and put it in. Anthony Horton putting the team on his back here in the third quarter. 34-30. A 4-point cushion for the Knights. Zettis defended by Martin. Nicholson floats it up to Geiger. Geiger goes up, put it in with a right hand and is fouled on the shot. Fouls on Indian number 21, Trey Jones. I think that's Jones' second. It's going to be the team's third. It is Jones' second, team's third. Going to the line for a one shot is Will Geiger, the 6'4" sophomore. See how Geiger is at the line in a 6-point game. Free throw by Geiger is up and short, and he chases it down and gets his own rebound. Kicks it out, here's Ludwig. Floats it up to Nicholson, who goes up, no good, rebound, put it in. 38-30. Here is Horton to Wilson. Now to Horton. Horton gonna launch another deep three. This one is also good. 38-33. Like I said, Anthony Horton putting the team on his back. Ludwig. Here's Nicholson to Geiger. Nicholson shoots the three. This one is no good. Rebound, Anthony Horton, who's skied for the board, and he's fouled on the rebound. Foul is on Norwell, number 3, Levi Ludwig. That is going to be his first foul, the team's first of the half. Larry Dean into the game to replace Trey Jones, and it's going to be Indian basketball. I like the effort from the Indians. They just won't go away. Here's Horton. Over to Wilson. Inside Tabitgalt. Backs down his defender. Goes up with a right-hand hook and put it in the basket. A 3-point lead for Norwell.
Like we said last game, get it to the big man at the basket, and he'll take care of it.
The Indians keep chipping away at it. It was 5, now it's 4, now it's 3. Ludwig defended by Wilson. Here's Nicholson defended by Tabitgalt. Geiger defended by Dean. Geiger goes up with a right hand and put it in. It went right around Dean. Here's Wilson, Indians down 5. Wilson over to Horton. Horton goes right around his defender, goes up with a right hand, banks it off the glass, and put it in. Anthony Horton has came to life here in this second half. 40-37. Here's Nicholson. Over to Thorson. Defended by Wilson. Down to 40 seconds left in the third. Zettis defended by Martin, top of the key. Here's Ludwig defended by Horton. Nicholson. Thorson. Norwell probably going to go for one. Geiger defended by Galt. The Indians switched Galt with Dean. Ludwig back to Thorson, down to 14 seconds. Horton defends. Down to 5. Geiger with 4. Thorson with 3, gonna shoot the 3, no good. Geiger up and no good. And at the end of the third quarter, the Mississinewa Indians fight back to only trail by 3. At the end of the third, Norwell 40, Mississinewa 37. Back in 1 minute with the fourth quarter. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Anthony Horton has 16 points in this ball game, putting the team right on his back. Anthony has came to life. He's got 16 points and he leads the Indians in scoring. Geiger has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Anthony Horton leads all scorers. He leads the Indians with 16. Will Geiger leads the Norwell Knights with 14. So it's a Geiger against Horton show. Indians down 3, going to take over the ball to start the fourth quarter with Connor Wilson and working across the timeline. Top of the key, Wilson over to Skeens. Skeens passes it over to Connor Wilson. Wilson hands it off to Horton. Horton kicks it out to Connor Wilson. Now Wilson goes inside, throws it up to Tabit Galt, who goes off the glass and puts it in. Nice pass from Connor Wilson. The lead is now 1. Here come the Indians. The crowd's getting into it a little bit more. Thorson, it's a timeout, Norwell. Good defense on the full court press from the Indians. It's a 30-second timeout. And Ryan, how about the defensive intensity from the Indians here so far in the fourth quarter?
It's a total change. Total change from the first, second, and third out of halftime and coming into the fourth with more energy, better offense, and most importantly, better defense. Very good by the Indians.
The Indians do not want to lose this game. They were very, very, very upset after losing Saturday to Huntington North by 6, having a chance to win that game. Now they got a chance to win this game, and they know what's at stake. They don't want to lose 2 in a row and drop to 1-2 on the season. They want to improve to 2-1.
Right, and especially with a good Norwell team, they want to show what they have to come to get prepared for March.
Last score we had, Mississinewa Lady Indians basketball team trailed by 1, 18-17 in the second quarter. .7:28 left in the ball game. It's 40-39. Inbounding is Ludwig. Gets it to Thorson, and now the Indians play defense, man-to-man. It's kind of like a help man-to-man. Ludwig, defended by Horton. Over to Thorson. Thorson back to Ludwig, defended by Anthony Horton. Horton has very good defensive hands. Thorson defended by Wilson. Wilson, here's Henson, taken away by Heisman Skeens, and the Indians have their first chance at taking a lead in a long time. Skeens to Wilson. Wilson over to Horton. Horton goes inside, kicks it out. Tabit Galt, a 3 for the lead. This one is good. Tabit Galt, a huge 3. The Indians take a 2-point lead and their first lead since early in the second quarter. Here comes the defensive intensity from Ole Miss. Wilson defending. Here's Zetis. Zetis drives to the baseline, and it's a foul on the floor. Foul is going to be against Indian, number 33, Heisman Skeens. That's the second foul on Skeens and the team's fourth to Norwell's one. A huge three and a clutch three out of the senior Tabit Galt. I think Tabit's hit 3 threes this game, and he's hit every single one. It's going to be jump ball, and I think the ball's going to Mississinewa. Possession Norwell. The next time it'll go to Mississinewa. Inbounding, Thorson throws it up to Geiger. Taken away by Anthony Horton. Horton's out and running, and now he's tripped and he's fouled. Who's the foul going to be on? Foul's on Norwell, number 22. No, it's on number 3, Levi Ludwig, and the team and the fans not too happy about the call. But Horton was clearly tripped and knocked to the floor. Here's Wilson. Swings it over to Heisman Skeens. Now back to Wilson. Wilson to Horton. And now Horton dribbles it back out. Over to Skeens. Skeens cross court to Wilson. Over to Tabit Galt. Inside Larry Dean. Kicks it back out Connor Wilson. Wilson inside Tabit Galt. Turn around. Right hand hook off the glass and put it in. And Tabit Galt said, keep feeding me. Ball deflected from Skeens. It's 44-40, a 4-point lead for the Indians. Zetis, a 3. No good. Rebound Thorson. Indians going to trap him. Now Ludwig to Nicholson, a 3 to answer. This one, nothing but net. Here's Wilson. Wilson drives inside, kicks it out to Tabit Galt. Now over to Heisman Skeens, and now Anthony Horton with the basketball at the top of the key. Horton over to Wilson. Inside Tabit Galt. Goes around his defender, gets it to Larry Dean. Dean goes up, swatted away by Nicholson. Zetis inside Nicholson. Goes around Dean, puts up a right hand, no good. Rebound fought for, Skeens coming away and tipped it out. Here's Ludwig over to Zetis. Now Thorson. Thorson inside. Driving to his left, shot up, no. Rebound, tipped out. Rebound Ludwig, who goes up, shot up with a floater, no good. And a rebound comes down to Larry Dean after 3 offensive boards by Norwell. Wilson goes around his defender, kicks it out. Skeens to Wilson. Wilson brings it out, throws it over to Anthony Horton, who hit a 3 in the third quarter from about that distance. Indians slowing things down. Here's Dean. Now Horton to his left, around his defender, goes up with a right hand, and he's fouled on the shot by Luke Zetis. That's Zetis' second of the game, and it's his. That's actually Zetis' first and the team's third. And Anthony Horton, who was 0 for 4 on Saturday, goes to the line to try to hit 2. Free throw from Horton is no good. It bounced around. Jalen Martin returns to the lineup, replacing Connor Wilson. Here comes Horton. I think if you're the Indians, you want Horton to definitely hit this one. Second one from Horton is up, and this one is a brick and no good. Rebound fought for, Nicholson comes away with it. Excited to hear the comments of Coach Everts after this one. We'll have him on our postgame show. Looked like Thorson stepped over to the back court line. Zetis kicks it out, Thorson. Over to Zetis. Luke driving to the right. Skeens all over him. Cross-court pass. Ludwig going to shoot the three ball. No good. Zetis, a rebound. It's a long rebound. These rebounds that Norwell is getting are not because the Indians are not blocking out. They're just bouncing and going to Norwell.
Yeah,
it's full timeout Norwell.
Yeah, you got to block out. That's what's going to save you. And you got to block out those three-point baskets too.
44-43. Back in 1 minute. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. It is the fourth quarter with 3:08 remaining in the ballgame and 1 point lead for the Mississinewa Indians. Here's Nicholson, a three out of the corner, no good. Rebound, Larry Dean. Dean across half court. Hands it off to Heisman Skeens. Skeens is going to hand it off to Horton. Horton gets a screen, kicks it out to Skeens. Out to Horton. Now Martin. Over to Horton. Indians slowing things down. Want to get a high-quality shot. Here's Skeens. Skeens to Tabit Galt. Galt backs him, defender down, goes up with a right hand, put it off the glass, and put it in and gave a little bit of a flex. Tabit Galt coming to life in this fourth quarter after Anthony Horton having a big third. 46-43. We'll have the stats for you at the end of this ball game, and then we'll have the comments of Andrew Everts, the head coach of the Indians. Ludwig almost lost control of it. Martin defends him. Geiger looked like he took a walk, and he did. It's an offensive foul. A charging call because Larry Dean had his feet planted and stayed right in front of Geiger, and Geiger lowered his shoulder and shoved him. The Indians were down 14-24 at the half and battled back and now have a three-point lead at 46-43 with 2:03 left in the game. Tabit Galt having a big night. He's definitely got a double-double. Horton gets it to the middle to Larry Dean. Now Dean goes up, right-hand layup and put it in. A 5-point lead for the Indians with 1 minute and 45 remaining in the game. I said 55 or more and you'll win the game. Nicholson floats it up to Geiger, tipped away by Tabit Galt. They said Galt traveled. (48-43), 90 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Nicholson, drives in, loses control. It's off of an Indian, and it's still staying Norwell basketball. Now there's 90 seconds to play, 1 minute and 30. 48-43, this game is never over. Geiger catches it, defended by Tabit Galt. Geiger inside, goes up with a right hand. It's an offensive foul, and it's going back the other way. 48-43. 125 left in the ball game. Martin to inbound, gets it to Anthony Horton, and here comes the full court press. Horton gets it to, tried to get it to Tabit Galt. It was tipped. Minute 21 to play, 5-point lead, 48-43. Jalen Martin gonna inbound. Martin looks, gets it to Anthony Horton. The Indians are gonna milk the clock, I would assume. Martin with the ball, hands it off to Anthony Horton. Over to Jalen Martin, back to Anthony Horton. Horton, defended by Ludwig, goes over to Martin. Martin back to Horton. Down to a minute to play, now Martin. He's fouled, and Jalen Martin is gonna, not in the bonus yet. One more foul, and Ole Miss is in the 1-and-1 bonus. Horton gonna inbound the ball, since he is probably the worst free throw shooter on the court for the Indians right now. Connor Wilson also gonna come in the game. I think he's gonna replace Skeens, and he does. Horton inbounding. Looks. Throws it to the back court to Connor Wilson. Wilson behind his back. Across to half court. Warson down to 44 seconds. And he threw it away and back the other way. Here's Nicholson. Knocked away by Horton. Horton. 37.1 left in the game. And now I think Connor Wilson's going to the line, or is it Anthony Horton? It's Anthony Horton going to the line. 0 for 2 from the line for Horton. And in games like this, you have got to hit your free throws down the stretch. Trey Jones and Heisman Skeens returning to the lineup for Mississinewa with 37 and 1/10 left on the clock. It's a 1-and-1 for Horton. Free throw up by Anthony, rims in and out, and it's no good. It's 48-43. Thorson over to Zettis. Zettis inside, left-hand layup, no good. Rebound, Tabit Galt. And they're going to foul Tabit. And I like that because Tabit Galt was 5 of 6 against Huntington North, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter overall. 48-43. We will talk to both Tabit Galt and Anthony Horton along with Andrew Everts. And get you some halftime stats, or some post-game stats. At the end of this game, I'm glad it's not halftime. Free throw from Tabit Galt. He finally missed one after a long time of making them. Still 5 points. Thorson, he's fouled by Horton. That's Horton's second. One more foul, and Norwell's in the bonus. So the Indians had a foul to give. I like them giving a foul there. Here's Thorson. Over to Nicholson. Tries to go around Galt. It's a block on Tabit Galt. And Nicholson's going to the line. The foul was on the floor, and now a pass inside to Geiger, put it in, and it's a timeout for Norwell. I'm sure it's going to be a full because they're going to set up their defense. With 12.6 left in the game. It's a 3-point game at 48-45. Mississinewa with a 3-point lead. Ryan, I said it in the pregame. I feel like if you get to 55, you'd win it. They're very close to 50, and they're leading the game.
Yeah, what they scored against Manchester was, 62 points, and now they're at 48, 52.
They scored 64 against Manchester.
64, 50, and that range will win you ball games.
Right now, they're sitting in good shape. You've just got to hit your free throws. First off, get the inbounds pass in, and then hit your free throws. get the inbounds pass in, you hit your free throws, you're going to move on to 2-1.
Like you said, free throws wins games. That's what you have to hit.
We're going to talk to Anthony Horton, Tabit Galt, and Andrew Everett, the head coach of the Indians, right after this ball game, and we're going to get you the post-game stats. Good news also for the Indians is Norwell is a common sectional foe, so if they meet up against each other, the Indians know that they can at least beat Norwell or attempting to beat them right now. Wilson, he's fouled, and now he's going to go to the line. I think this is a double bonus. Wilson going to go for a 1-and-1. 1-and-1 for Wilson. Like I said, you've got to hit your free throws. Down the stretch. Wilson's free throw up. Good. Nothing but net. That's a two-possession game with 11.4 left. That was a huge free throw. He hits this one, and I think the Indians have sealed the deal. Unless something dramatically changes. Free throw by Wilson. Perfect. 50-45. Trey Jones in. Replaces Connor Wilson. 50-45. A three here. It's still down 2, and Norwell has to foul. So either way, you don't foul if you're Mississinewa. You just put pressure on them. Wild shot up, no good. Rebound Nicholson up, no good. Rebound Geiger up, no good. Rebound fought for Thorson, no good. And that's the way this game is going to end. At the end of the ball game, Mississinewa 50, Norwell 45. We'll come back in 1 minute with the individual player stats of both teams and much, much more on our postgame show. Stay tuned. We're going to talk to Tabit Galt, Anthony Horton, and head coach Andrew Everett. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Indians win 50-45. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. We have the individual scoring numbers for both teams. First, for the Norwell Knights. The Norwell Knights was led in scoring by Brandon Nicholson with 18 points. Will Geiger had 16. Levi Ludwig had 5. Luke Zettis and Connor Thorson with 5 apiece. For the Mississinewa Indians, Tabit Galt leads all scorers with 23 points. Anthony Horton with 16. Connor Wilson with 5, and Larry Dean with 2, and that's how the Indian scoring ends up at 50. So overall, a good night offensively for the Indians. Had a slow-moving first half. Coming out in the second half, they got going. They scored 26 points in the second half to just 24 in the first half. We will await Coach Andrew Everett along with Tabit Galt and Anthony Horton. We'll have them in just a few moments. Coach Everett has to run over and talk to 1400 WBAT, the local radio station here. He will talk to them, and then we will talk to Coach Everett. And while they are talking to Coach Everett, we will talk to Tabit Galt and Anthony Horton about tonight's win. Again, final score for Mississinewa: Indians 50, Norwell 45. we will await Coach Everts, Anthony Horton, and Tabit Galt. Until then, we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. The Indians come back and defeat the Norwell Knights by a final score of 50-45. We're joined by one of the players who led the Indians' comeback, sophomore Anthony Horton. Anthony, at the halftime break, you had only 4 or 5 points. You come out in the second half in the third quarter and lit Norwell up, hitting a very deep three, and then hit another three, and then driving to the bucket and hitting a few buckets in the third quarter. What was it like leading that comeback in that third quarter?
It was pretty cool. We was just trying to come out and get a W for the fans. We lost last home game, and we didn't want to do it twice.
After playing Huntington North on Saturday at such a slow-paced game, was it a little bit better playing a higher tempo game here tonight?
Yeah, it's always good to play high tempo. We started out slow at the beginning, but we came out hyped in the second half, and we got it done.
You ended with 16 points, just short of leading the team. Tabit Galt with 23. Talk about what it's like to play with Tabit.
He's amazing. It's easy. He racks up my assists every game. He's a leader on the court. I wouldn't be the player I am without him. There
was one play defensively that I thought you made, and it was a steal, and you had a fast break down at the other end. It kind of looked like you slipped as you're going up for a slam, and this kind of slip.
I went up for I was going to try to dunk that one. My ankle went out when I tried to dunk, and I just laid it in.
Anthony, thank you for your time. Good job tonight, and we'll see you Saturday at Northwestern. And then we will talk to Tabit Galt here in just a few minutes as we await Coach Everts as well. Coach Everts down talking to 1400 WBAT, and we'll have Tabit Galt in just a few minutes. Until then, I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Tabit Galt visiting with his family right now. They're telling him congratulations. Some students from the student section telling him congratulations. We will get Tabit up here in just a few minutes as he is chatting with some of the fans. Also, Coach Everts chatting with 1400 WBAT. We'll have him up here in just a few minutes as well. Again, Mississinewa led by Tabit Galt in scoring with the 23 points, and I'm almost positive Tabit probably had 15 or so rebounds in that game, and a couple of big offensive rebounds. So a great job and a great performance out of Tabit Galt tonight, and that's why we want him up here to have a word with him, along with Anthony Horton, as you just heard a minute ago. And we'll have Coach Everts over here in just a few minutes as well. So whichever one gets here first will be the first one to interview, and then after that we will wrap things up and get out of here. Again, thank you for watching. We'll have Tabit Galt and Coach Everts here in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Mississinewa comes up victorious tonight, defeating Norwell 50-45. And Tabit Galt joins us, the leading scorer for the Indians with 23 points. Anthony Horton had 16. Well, Tabit, you come in that first half, struggling to score the ball. You guys are down 24-14. You come out in the third quarter. Anthony Horton playing out of his mind in the third quarter. Talk about what it's like to play with Anthony.
I'm so glad we picked him up. He's a major boost to have losing Jared. He can create so much. He's shifty. No one can stay in front of him. I feel like he's good. He's a good point guard, best point guard. Anthony
led the team in that third quarter with the comeback. Fourth quarter, you guys come in down 3. You step back, hit a big 3 to take the lead at 42-40. Then you go on, hit a couple of buckets defended by Brandon Nicholson, who was physical with you all night. Talk about what it was like in that fourth quarter to hit a couple of those big shots.
I just felt good. I felt like I was in my zone. I felt pretty good coming into the game. I just felt like just let me do my thing, I guess, really.
I saw you one time get a bucket, and you looked over at Connor Wilson and said, come on, keep giving me the ball. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I had to. That's something coaches tell me to do. A lot of if I'm feeling it, just let them know, hey, give me the rock, and let me do my thing.
Tabit, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you Saturday at Northwestern.
Thanks, Dalton, bro.
Back in just a few minutes with head coach Andrew Everts. Indians win again by the final score of 50-45. Coach Everts will be here in just a few minutes. Welcome back, Mississinewa High School. Again, Mississinewa comes up with the win at 50-45, led by Tabit Galt's 23 points and Anthony Horton with 16. Those two led the comeback in the third and fourth quarter in that second half. Coach Everts talking to the local newspaper, getting ready to make his way up here, and we will talk to him in just a few moments. Again, final score from Mississinewa, Indians 50, Norwell 45. We'll have Coach Everts here in just a few minutes. He's finishing things up with the newspaper, and we'll have him, like I said, in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Going to work on an angle to get you so that you can see me interviewing Coach Everts here in just a few minutes. So the guys are working on that now, and we will have that for you here in just a few minutes as the guys are going to work on getting that interview on camera. Coach Everts working his way up here now, so we will do that here in just a few minutes. Again, a final tonight, Mississinewa 50 and Norwell 45. As you can see here, Tabit Galt with 23 points. Anthony Horton has 16. And we will take a few minutes and come back and talk to Coach Everts. Coach Everts talking to Athletic Director Chance Young, and we'll have him here in just a few minutes. Again, final score 50-45, Indians with the win. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Again, the Mississinewa Indians come up victorious, defeating Norwell 50-45. Coach Everts joins us now. Coach, in that first half, is kind of repeating like Saturday. Started off very slow offensively. Kind of talk about what it was like at the halftime break. Justin, a few things.
It was not very pleasant in our locker room, I can tell you that, because we're just so much better than that. I think the biggest thing, I know radio talked about adjustments too, we made a couple of small adjustments. We just played harder in the second half. I thought our guys, again, were just going through the motions. That will get you beat, and we got lucky tonight, but we have 4 tough road games in a row. If we do that in the first half in any of these games, we're going to lose them. So hopefully we learn something from this.
They came out in that second half, and I looked over at Ryan. I was like, man, this is a whole new basketball team.
Yeah. It really was. They look so much different. That's what we told them. We can be so good, but we have to put that together for 4 quarters every night. And until we do, we're going to struggle. And so we have some things to work on, but, man, if we can bottle that's a good basketball team in the second half.
I really thought Anthony Horton played like a senior tonight with the way he led your team in that third quarter. I think he had 5 or 6 at the halftime break. Comes out in that third quarter and was just lighting Norwell up. Talk about what it's like to watch him play as a sophomore.
Yeah, he did some good things tonight. I've told everybody. He took a couple quick shots, but, they're going in, so like I told him, I'm probably not going to say much when they're going in. But that was our game plan, was to weave our guards a little bit and attack off the dribble. And he just did a good job of beating his man, hit a couple big threes, got to the rim a couple times, but he really got things going then, and I think that helped our energy come up.
Tabit Galt led your team with 23 points. It was kind of a quiet 23 for him, but that fourth quarter, he really stepped up. And I would have to say he probably has a double-double tonight. I didn't keep track of rebounds, but I would say Tabit probably had a double-double. Talk about what it was like to see him step up in that fourth quarter and put the team on his back.
That was great. He's so consistent. I mean, I think he was 10 for 11 from the field. He made some big plays late in the game, just hit some tough, contested, double, triple team shots. I mean, they were just trying to take him away all night, and he still scored 23. I was really impressed with his three-point shooting, though, because we weren't shooting the ball well, and he stepped out and hit some big ones for us tonight.
Coach, you traveled to Northwestern on Saturday. The talk is about their guard, who's a very tough guard. Kind of talk to us about what you know about Northwestern.
They're a tough basketball team, and they always are. Coach Gish does a really good job. He's got a really good system. All those kids kind of play alike. They're just fundamentally sound, tough basketball players that aren't afraid to shoot. So they were going to be good regardless. Then you add in another good guard that really distributes the ball well and gets them going. It's a very tough basketball team. It's a very tough place to play. We have a lot to work on in the next 3 days before that. But again, if we play up to our potential, we'll be fine, and it should be a pretty good basketball game.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win. Have a good rest of the week of practice, and we'll see you Saturday at Northwestern.
Thank you guys very much.
Back after this on the Tribe Sports Network to wrap things up. Again, welcome back to Mississinewa High School. To wrap things up, Ryan, our final thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, I thought they played good. You know, it was a big change for them from the last game. You know, started off slow, had gotten some foul trouble, and after this halftime, they played with more energy. It was almost like a whole new team, a whole new game. They came out and played what they know how to play.
Yeah, I like the way the Indians came out in that second half with outstanding effort, and, you know, that's how they won tonight's game. The Indians travel to Northwestern on Saturday. We will have that coverage for you live here on the Tribe Sports Network. For Ryan Scott, I'm Dalton Bishop and Seth Kashanik and the rest of the gang. Dalton Bishop saying so long from Gas City. Indians win 50-45.